If you want to learn, you're going to learn more with listening than talking. I remember this like quotes from my mom. She said like, if you want to say something, you are pissed off, always have a water ready with you. When somebody pisses you off, take a zip water in your mouth and until you swallow, you're going to calm down. Keep that in mind.
That's great for emotional intelligence. Those little tricks, and you can practice them and become better and better with age. Of course, you're 24, you have that fire in you want to get it done tomorrow. But I learned a lot from my mentors. It's like patience and things will happen.
Whatever I accomplish for myself and for my family, motivating my friends, my employees, my family, especially my kids. I have 5 of them so far.
Yeah.
Roy is very blessed with 5 kids, which is, I think, it's your biggest wealth, right?
The biggest.
Yeah.
That's my best balance sheet.
Have you ever dreamed to have 5 kids?
I have a passion to make kids and money. That's my passion.
Where does the passion come from wanting to have kids?
People, they cannot be selfish just to think about themselves. I see this young generation, they're just traveling everywhere and posting what they eat, where they travel. That's called like selfish. They don't think about to give a life to future generation and teach kids that they have to keep building family and keep producing the kids.
I agree 100%. I think the reason for human beings to be part of this planet is to make sure you make kids. And so I think that's the biggest legacy. It's not the business, it's the kids.
Yeah, a couple nights ago, just like I was sitting with some friends and we were talking about, this family, children and that kind of stuff. And I say, you know what, how old are you? 35, 37, 40. How many kids all of you guys have? None of them, they don't have any children. And I told them, you know what? Because you are selfish. You are selfish. You're just thinking just about for yourself. You don't think like it's, kids is like responsibility. Because like right now, smaller kids, smaller worry. Bigger kids, bigger worry. Because I have a kids all over the ages, like for 22 to 6. Children, they are same like employees. You have to find a way to motivate them. Every child need a different motivation, same like employees. That's why it's very easy like to fire them, but you have to find what motivate them, that you can find a way to motivate them. Sometimes here, schools, they piss me off because my wife dealing more with the schools than I do because they call and complain for everything. One time I went in a school for my son. He's like 10, 11 years old. And they complain about him, about this, about that. I say, listen, did you find ever what motivate my son? He's very competitive. He likes to play sports, soccer. And when he go there, he likes to compete. And they say, hey, here we don't compete. We want to have a fun. I say, like, you have to explain him that when he's on a field, compete, but when are you here, you have to have a fun with the kids. Don't call me like this, because why I'm paying so much in a taxes for your job, and you are educated for that you can motivate my son and motivate all children. You have to find what motivate them, and you just like help them.
What values do you instill in your kids?
I always say, like, people, they say, like, it's a future, is children, they are future. No, children, they are present. If we right now take care of them and we spend time with them, we grow them with examples, because you cannot expect, like, if you do bad stuff you cannot expect from the kids to do better. Just like always give them example. Always make sure if they see somebody older, they have to support them, they have to help them. Doesn't matter, like your neighbor, if has a snow comes on your neighbor's driveway, because we live north in Chicago, see there, help them. If you see anybody that need help them. Doesn't matter will people pay you back or not, like, but good Lord always see that. Help them. And always be, that is like my mother always teaches, like say, you know what, always be like, on a middle. Don't go high, don't go low, be on a middle. Yeah. And always my kids, they are in a school the same with every children. Doesn't matter, like we can afford to buy anything, but like my kids wearing and dressing like same like normal kids in a classroom, because I don't want them to be extra from different kids.
Overly dressed or underdressed and
Exactly.
stay in the middle. I think those are some basics that we lost in today's society. Like we don't see that motivation, just domestication in today's families. And it's wrong. Everybody's on the phone, focusing on material stuff, the Balenciaga shoes, the Gucci shoes, what they're wearing, the car they're driving. Something that I admire a lot with Roy is like he keeps everything balanced. He's not a show-off guy, and he's probably one of the wealthiest person I know. And it's so amazing how humble he is. How do you manage to keep that humbleness where you can pretty much have everything you want to. You can buy anything you want to.
I was raised like this way. I feel comfortable if I go in a Walmart and buy some stuff, or I feel I'm the same person. I'm not crazy to have some expensive shoes and that kind of stuff. Simple life. What motivates me, I always tell motivates me my children and my employees. When my employees come and tell me, say, you know what, I bought a house very close to our company, that's what motivates me, because these people, they believe in my leadership and they believe in their company that they work. That's motivate me. Doesn't motivate me to buy car expensive or to buy house on a beach, doesn't matter. Just my employees and my family motivates me.
You have such a traditional value system that I think a lot of society now, especially in America, they don't have it. They look at building wealth as a selfish thing, and they want it to happen right here, right now. I'm 24 years old, and all I think about is when am I going to make my first $1 million? And I think it's a very selfish pursuit. Where did this start?
Always I had the passion to be my own boss, to have my own business. I remember like 11 years old, I made my first transaction. There was like one back home. I'm originally from Yugoslavia, and after that, when Yugoslavia split in a Yugoslavia used to have 6 republics and 2 provinces. Now they all split differently. And after when Yugoslavia split, there was like Serbia and Montenegro left. And after they split Montenegro and Serbia, originally I'm from Montenegro, from very small city. And I remember like that's I had a very hard time, and just like working very hard. We had like small farm, and I remember we were going from school, from my house to school. I was walking 2 hours each way. Yeah, and that gave me a lot of strength and to become who I am today. And I remember like my first transaction I did when I was 11 years old. I was working very hard and make some money, and I bought a little bike, and I sold the bike, and I make money. And that was my first sales transaction.
And you were happy? You feel?
I was very happy, and always I had the passion to work hard and always to grow myself, and that's how I start. Like, and after that, like I was listening when I opened my first business. I was always listening my customers, and always sit down, always find a time for my customer and for my employees, and ask them what we can do better. And there is you cannot like make any business projection or anything, especially right now in this like very fast changing technology world. You have to listen, you have to go by the flow. You cannot be stubborn. Doesn't matter. Like I always listening my employees. That's why I have my employees. Like I don't have a lot, especially like in higher management. I don't have a turnover at all. These guys, they are with me, and I always say like our company is not my company. It's all of ours, because this company feeding our family and children, and somebody has a more, somebody has a less. Who has a more headache. Who has a less headache. And who has a more, their mistakes is like more expensive than somebody who has a less. But we work together. We are like a family. And in a business, you cannot be stubborn. You have to listen from your like bottom line to the top, because everybody always say like there is no bad idea, only is a better idea. And like when somebody give you bad idea, you a little bit reward them, and you're gonna come out with excellent idea. That's how
That's amazing.
How in my organization things works.
How old were you when you opened the first business?
I remember like when I opened my business, I was 30 years old, and that time, first time I touched computer. 30 years old, and I touched first time computer, and I remember, and I start my business from the kitchen, and that's like computer was like huge, was taking half of my kitchen table.
Although you're not that old, you're only. Can we disclose this? How old are you?
Depend like how you feel. I have a more energy than these kids in 20s. Because like
you look great, you work out,
yeah.
Take care of your body.
I always tell everybody, you have, and I always teach my employees, you have to work more on yourself than you work on your company, because you have to take care of yourself. When are you taking care of yourself? Good results will follow. But a lot of people right now, unfortunately, they're spending so many hours on a social media. It's like social media, like, okay, we have to be in a social media because we want to be in trend with technology, we want to see what's going on, but not too many hours. Because people, they just like spending time all night, they're playing games, they're watching what's going on a different, chasing Pokemon, or they do different stuff, and they don't work on themselves. Unfortunately, right now, young generation, as soon as they graduate, they never read any books. They say, you know what? Now I have my diploma, and they don't ever open to read any books.
But with social media, and you're one of the biggest marketing guy I know, it's inevitable to use it because we use it for marketing, and you have to be on social media.
Yeah, I agree with you, but has to be limited, because like if you spend a lot of time on a social media, because like it's you don't work on your you have to work out, you have to read the books. Like I always tell everybody, especially like if you want to grow, one book a month you have to read. You have to read one book a month. People, they're asking me like, if I was born again, what would I change? Only I would change two things. I would get married earlier, and I would start to read the books earlier. Nothing else. And my advice to everybody: just read, and more read. At least one. We have to have a 1 hour a day for ourselves, and we have to find what's make us like better person, healthier person, and what make us to be relaxed.
You started your first business at 30 and more successful than 99.999% of the entire world. What mindset did you have when you started your first business?
You have to believe in yourself, and you have to give up to go up. I remember like when I started the business, I was working day and night. When everybody was starting, just like as soon as they make first money, they were going, for the show off, buying like jewelry, buying expensive clothing, buying the cars, and I was like making money, and I was investing, especially in real estate. And my advice is like, as soon as you get the first money, invest in real estate. But remember, don't be over leverage. You have to make sure that when you buy something, that like real estate can cover your own mortgage, and with 80% down payment and 80% occupancy. Because sometimes you're gonna have all year like occupancy can be 100%, but sometime will be drop down. But you have to make sure, and that's it. You work and never give up. Believe in yourself, and work hard.
I love that. You have to give up to go up. That's golden. I love it.
What if you had to start again today, what would be the business that you would start, or do you think that just doesn't matter?
Business, it's not like you have to find yourself what you're gonna like it. Because like, see, for me, I love what I'm doing. I cannot wait for the morning to come. I cannot wait for Monday to come. It's like when we have a holiday, I'm just a little bit nervous. But like something you have to find where you're gonna be. Doesn't matter how much money you make, but you have to be happy. Find a business that where you're gonna be happy.
So I agree with you, and do you think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are successful? And you see they love what they're doing, they're happy even on bad markets and good markets, and then you see people, they do something and you feel like they're being forced to do a business and they never succeed. And we know a lot of those people that they do something they don't like and they're never happy.
You know what? Because like a lot of people, they just don't find themselves where they're gonna be happy. For example, they're gonna say, you know what? Roy succeed there in that business, must be good. I'm going there too. I'm going there too. Because like, and after that, like they don't like, but they wanna, how to say, they're trying to succeed, but like they are miserable. They don't like that. That's why I say like this. A lot of people, they telling me, hey, why don't you open here? Why don't you open this, open that? And I say, you know what? It's not my passion for that. Give us somebody else chance who has a passion for that. I don't want to be distraction. And I know what I'm doing, just like what I'm doing, which business I like, and I'm stuck with that. And also I'm gonna continue to be stuck with that. Because like for every business, you have to be, before you open business, you have to do a lot of study. You have to study to see like 3, 4, 3, 5, 10 years has a room to grow. Who is your competition? Can you compete with them? How is the market share? What you need to do differently to take a market share from your competition? And good business attracts competition, because I remember like how many businesses I open. As soon as I open, there is like they're like when you become successful, you attract competition right away, and people they want to follow you, but always you have to keep, you have to educate yourself, and you have to be innovative. And you have to be just like same, like business is the same like sport. You have to keep practicing, playing that you can stay on the top. It's very easy to get on the top. It's very hard to be to hold on the top.
What is the most influential book that you've read in your life?
I would recommend to, especially right now, to the young generation. A lot of these young kids, they communicate, but on text messaging. They need to communicate person to person. Like one of my great books that I read is like from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I would recommend to every young person to read that book.
It's a great book.
It's very good books.
I've read a lot of Carnegie books. I don't know if you probably did it too.
Yeah.
Roy, how many businesses you own today?
Around 20.
20 businesses.
Yeah, 20, and we have employees like in almost every state in America, and also we have employees in Europe.
It's amazing.
With owning 20 businesses, what have you seen in the market, like in terms of how the economy has changed in the last, like, I would say last 12 months realistically? Like, what have you noticed has been the biggest change, and how are you then enacting change in your business to adapt to this new market?
Just like every person, they knows that every business is going up and down. There is a cycle of 7 to 10 years, and when is a good time, you have to prepare for bad times. When bad times come, you have to take advantage of that. That's how we do. And I have 20 businesses. Sometimes, like all 20 businesses, they don't make money, and I keep some businesses on a purpose just to be indicator for the economy and for the next move. Just like I lost money, but not a lot of money, but I keep that like a pipeline to pump the business for the rest of the businesses that I have, like benchmarking, marketing, and also that I can see what my customers they're doing, how they're doing. Yeah.
Really interesting.
What would be the best advice, Roy, if there is way you can turn back the time and talk to your 20-year-old you, or to give an advice to the young generation right now, because we notice there's a lot of confusion happening? What would be the best advice besides reading books, focus on family? It's sometimes it's easier to say than done, but to find a passion, like how did you find your passion? How would you give advice to a young guy to find a passion? Is it trying and change jobs and see if you're going to find the one you like, or find a mentor?
My advice for all this young generation, because when people applying for a job here, when I'm seeing that they're changing company every 8 months, 12 months, 14 months, those resumes we are taking and throwing in the garbage, because those people, that's like they're job jumpers. They have a more experience interviewing than working. Yeah, for young generation, what I would give them like this: before you apply for the job, do researches for the company that you're gonna work. And when you go there for an interview, never ask how much money I gonna make. Ask who is gonna be your direct report. And if you like that person that you're gonna report to him, pick the job. Pick the boss.
Learn.
Because that he's gonna give you opportunity. When I'm hiring people, I'm always tell my hiring managers, when are you hiring somebody? If you don't see that you cannot promote that person on 3 position, don't hire that person. Because we don't want to hire somebody to idle. And I always tell my employees, if we don't provide you with opportunity that you can grow and develop, please go somewhere else. We don't want to kill your potential. And how we lead people and how we are successful in our business, because like we are educating, like we have a education budget that we put on a side every year, and every my employees, if they want to find some like courses for the sales, or there is an MBA, like just like for the management, we always say, listen, we're gonna pay for you. Just please go there and educate yourself.
As you've seen marketing shift, because you talked a lot about marketing, what is your understanding of marketing now, especially with social media being like such a big piece of it?
You know what? Right now is like social media is good. That is good maybe, but like for a retail business, small retail, but for the big business is like it's a human to human. You have to do like just like maybe some convention, maybe some. See, for example, for us, we are doing like big. We are big on the marketing. We do big events like they're like soccer tournaments where everybody comes in meantime. We do like we are a big sponsor for the Shriners Hospital for Children, and that like to say like that event costing us a lot of money, but we have a lot of sponsor. Like one of them is like Blaze Luxury Homes, that he sponsor us. We do this like for 2 days, and that time we have a chance to meet a new prospect, talk to our existing customer, say thank you to our vendors for to helping us to become where are we. Yeah, and we're gonna continue to do this. Like right now, we do every year. We do this like on a soccer, and also we have a winter MMA fight that we organize together with our business partners, with our vendors, with all our customers, with everything. Because like doesn't matter, you can spend a lot of money on marketing on all social media, but customers they like to see you. They want to do business face to face.
Which goes down to the core of why we're starting this podcast, and the name of the podcast is power of networking. It really goes down to you have to have a great social media content as well. You have to market, but in the end of the day, you got to shake hands and talk to people. That's the only way they can feel your energy, and you can tell them that you're a real guy and you can do business.
I agree with you, because like this for a big business that we are in a big business, that you have just like, okay, we are, just like I always say, like it's compass. I want to say like compass strategy. Never give up long-term success for short-term profit. That's like that's compass strategy. I always teach our people, salespeople, like said, never abuse somebody's kindness. Yeah, there is like never. I remember like when I started the business, a lot of people they underestimate me, and that's like I learned from that. They give me more. I say no because my English wasn't great that time when I opened the company. They were making fun of them when I started the business. This guy with broken English, he will never succeed. And I told them, you know what?
Watch more is coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna say haters, wait, more will come. And I always remember that, and I always teach my employees. Never underestimate nobody, respect your time.
How do you feel like negative motivation, like haters and people that doubt you, motivate you versus your family and your employees? Like, how did those two balance out?
It's not easy to be very successful, because doesn't matter if somebody pisses you off, you never have to show them off. Always be nice. Always they're just like be nice. And I always say like brain is with the sales. At least one sales one day is gonna tell you know what, I was very rude to this person and he was very nice to me. Be nice, smile, thank you very much, be nice.
So that's the power of that emotional intelligence. You can be very successful, your IQ level can be high, but if you're not emotionally intelligent, you'll make mistakes that will cost you a lot of money along the way. So I learned a lot from Roy in that emotional intelligence. He's always humble, always respects everybody. It's just gold.
Yeah, because it's interesting, because I mean, as being in my 20s, like the number one thing that I probably have to deal with on a daily basis is my ego, making sure that I understand that I'm still 24 years old. I don't know anything in a lot of cases. And then number two, emotional regulation, because a lot of times I will want to make a decision based on purely emotion. How am I feeling in that moment? And that decision could trickle, and I could be paying for that decision 10 years later because I decided to make a decision in emotion. I'm interested, do you do any practices like meditation or things like that help you like regulate your emotions, or how do you regulate your emotions when you're making decisions in business?
I have ego too, but I have a positive ego because I want to be better, bigger, smarter. Yeah, when you're making decisions just like this, especially right now, a lot of guys, before you make any decision, you give a little bit yourself time. Even like people, when they ask him, like when they call him something like that, and I'm quiet, I'm just say like, hey, are you there? And I'm processing what I'm gonna say. Just like when on a telephone or when I'm with people, doesn't matter. Like just like I always say, like I cannot control what's going on around me, but I can control what's going on inside me. Just you have to be very, very smart. Just like before, before you talk, think, and if you want to learn, you're gonna learn more with listening than talking. That's I always tell my kids. Like right now, they are also 20. My oldest one is 22. I told her, just listen. Just listen. You're gonna learn more than talk. Yeah, and you that's like you that's is gonna come, but you are that will come with the age. But you have to practice that. You have to practice. And even if you just like I remember this like words from my mom. She said like if you want to say something, you are pissed off, always have a water ready with you. When somebody pisses you off, take a zip water in your mouth, and until you swallow, you're gonna calm down.
Calm down.
Let's keep that in mind.
So that's great for emotional intelligence. That's those little tricks, and you can practice them and become better and better with age. I mean, of course, you're 24, you have that fire in you. You want to get it done tomorrow. But I learned a lot from my mentors. It's like patience, and things will happen. You got to work on yourself.
Patience is the key. Patience is the key. You have to be just, and believe me or not, like I had a lot of people, they piss me off. They want to just like, I say, you know what? I'm just calm down. Just, and don't listen what people is going to say for you. This doesn't never bothers me. More successful you are, it's you're going to have a more free marketing for yourself.
It took me 2 years to get a response back from the email I sent him originally once we met. So I was patient and I was persistent. So you got to be patient and persistent, and don't, emotional intelligence. Again, I was not angry that he's not responding. In my mind, I was like, he's a busy guy. So I got to make sure he's going to see my texts and emails, and I'm going to keep, trying to reach to him. And look where that brought us today.
And I'm sorry about that, because I always say like never underestimate, but never underestimate nobody, respect yourself. That's why, because like only, just like right now for me, day is too short. Yeah. I love to live a life, and also I'm the person who likes to communicate. I'm not the person who lies long. I always tell everybody, if you text me more than 3 lines on my phone, call me. Because like I don't like text messaging and long emailing.
Reading long emails, yeah.
Yeah, and all my business associates and all my employees, they know. If it's like sending me email more than 3 lines, call me. I never read that. Never read that.
So I come from a background of, none of my family made any money. Like for the most part, all my family has been, either at the poverty line or below the poverty line. And it's interesting when I kind of come into this new world of trying to build a business and trying to, build generational wealth for my family's family. What have you learned from your background? What was some of the mindset that you had to shift, or just in general, like what are some of the things that you had to do to break some of those generational patterns of, at least for me, I can find myself getting stuck in the old generational patterns that my family fell into, and the reason why they're still where they're at.
We had a house like 400 square feet. I was living in that house, me, 3 brothers, and my parents. That was like our winter house. Summer house was like 160 square feet. Can you imagine how big is like 160 square feet? And I was living there like also with my parents and my 3 brothers. And always that's like I'm telling you, just like you have to believe in yourself and you have to work. Here how it works, how is here. You work for somebody, you're suffering. You work for yourself, you living, somebody work for yourself, you enjoying. But there is like you cannot escape those steps. Has to go step by step, because you have how you can be a good leader and you didn't work for a good leader. Fast success build the ego. Slow success build a character. See, I did this remember when I come in this country, I did everything. I was like shuffling snow. That time, that's like 30 years ago, we didn't have a telephone that somebody call you on cell phone. Come on, wake up, we have to come. They come on early in the morning, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, Chicago, banging the doors. Hey, there is more than 2-inch snow. We have to shuffle. And after they come, because we were like cleaning snow on the rich houses and everything. And I was always say like, one day I'm gonna have a house same like this. And all night, because you have to start 4 o'clock in the morning, driveway has to be clean before people go to work. And after on the summer, cutting the grass, cleaning the swimming pool. And I say, one day I'm gonna have it like this. When I don't have to do this kind of job, I went in Lifetime Fitness to work out, and there is like people like my age today, they were working out, and I say, you know what? these people, probably they have their own business. Now they can afford to be early in the morning, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock to work out. And I say, I want to be one day like them. That's why you have to have something to motivate you, and you have to go towards that. And I always say, like, we can pick up. We just like we can pick something what motivate you. We cannot change the family, but friends and our circle we can change. If you just like if you pick like 4 friends that they are positive, you're gonna be fifth who is gonna be positive. If you pick 4 people, 4 millionaires, you're gonna be 50 millionaire. If you pick like 4 loser, you're gonna be fifth of them. Now is you choose with who you want to surrender yourself with.
And if you're motivated and if you're grinding to become a better person. If not, then you're going to be happy where you are and you're not going to grow.
We have a choices. That's I give you example. You pick, you choose with who you want to be. You want to be with us or you are against us. That's mean if you against us, you are with somebody with bad people.
Yeah.
When you were starting your business and you were networking, what were some of the things? The Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is like the book that changed my life. That was like the book when I read it, and I was like, oh wow, this is like everything and more of what I wanted to do. But when you're like somebody like myself, 24 years old, trying to bring value to people that are, you know, doing way better than me and things like that, how did you do that at that age when you really started your business?
You know what? Like I was listening a lot. When we get there, like I remember, like, you know, in industry, you have to know which industry you're gonna go, and go in places where you can meet those people from the industry. For example, if you want to be a dentist, you cannot meet the people over there in a truck stop. Dentists, they don't go there. You have to go there where they are networking. You have to go there. I would advise to every person that they want to open business, open business. If they have a passion for anything, they have to Google it, and they have to find where they have this annual convention in that business. And when you go there, you'll see all supplier for that business. You're gonna see there like and become a member in that trade association. And you don't have to be, because those people there who is the executive in that trade association, don't be shy. Ask them, I'm planning to do this. What do you think who is gonna be my best choice? For example, software, because that you can manage business, you cannot manage business. Like I have one that I build a software, I wrote the software. I always say, like, you cannot manage if you don't measure. You cannot improve if you don't see it. Awesome. That's like this. I will always suggest, before you open any business, become a member to the trade association. Doesn't matter what is that like. If it's construction, plumbing, become a like member in the plumbing association. Or if it's like insurance, there is like insurance, become a member to the insurance association. And that association, they are build all those executives, they are like successful business owners who appoint them there to help to grow that industry. That's my advice for everybody who is planning to start like any business. See, you are in marketing business. You need to attend at least 4 to 6 different associations in your trade. And I went there like a few times in Las Vegas. There is a lot of good knowledge that you can pick from that marketing association.
And people you're going to meet and all that stuff. And you got to tell us, how do you move to Florida? How did you discover Naples, and why Naples, Florida?
Why Naples to Florida? I would recommend everybody Naples. Naples, when I come like 2008, I come here. As soon as I land on airport Fort Myers, I felt energy. I say, you know what? I need to buy something here. And one of he's my accountant, Gray Hunter Stein, that I'm doing business with them for many, many years. He invited me here, and he said, how you want to decide right away and you didn't see the city? I say, you know what? I felt energy. And I did a lot of good decisions in my life, but one of my best decisions that I decided to move to Naples. Naples is very good. I would recommend to everybody, especially who has a family, children. That's like very safe place, very clean place, a lot of good schools. I would recommend to everybody to move to Naples. Doesn't matter, we live on north, because like our business, we are connected to north. But on a winter, as soon as many as you have a time, come here. As much as you have a time to come here, that you can refresh, you have a time for yourself, that you can recharge yourself with a good energy.
The sun, the palm trees, just
Yes. And there is like also there is a good lot of good realtor and Blaze Luxury Home. he will help you to
100%.
choose the place. And I'm very proud of him. He's a person
Thank you.
who is gonna he doesn't look like a customer one time use. He's looking for a customer like his customer to become his best friend, and he's gonna guide them that they will be successful, that they will buy the house, that they're gonna be happy, not just to have a house. They want to have a house where they're gonna. When are you happy in that house? You can feel energy. When are you not happy? Like you purchase something that you don't like, it's not that. And Blaze is not the person that he's gonna push you away, buy. Just like he will advise you through all this like buying process, and he's gonna tell you this house is good because of this, because of that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time, dude. I think we had a lot of wisdom today. I can't wait to hear this back and reflect. Thank you for your time. You're a busy man, Roy. We really appreciate you being here, being our first guest in season 1.
I'm never busy for my friends and to help young people to educate educate them and to take them from their comfort zone. And their comfort zone is spending time, a lot of time on a text message on social media. You guys take care of yourself. Just always like this, like on beginning, I'm gonna mention it right now. Work more on yourself than you work on your company that you are employed, and please stay in a shape. Unfortunately, right now I see a lot of young generation that they are overweight. Please, just like everybody needs to work on themselves. Thank you very much, guys, to inviting me to.
Thank you, Roy. I'm gonna make sure I bring the team is gonna come to Chicago, check out some of the concerts you're hosting. We're hosting one next month here in Naples. A big Balkan star is coming, Aco Pejovic, and we want to make sure the whole team is there recording that and enjoy the show.
That would be good. That would be good.
Maybe you can go next summer, come to the Balkans, do more concerts there, do some recordings, meet some media people. There's a lot of smart kids in the Balkans that they can help your business grow and just ideas and scale.
Yeah, exactly. Just like always remember this. Like this here is like all power of the networking. Always is good to network. Doesn't matter where we go, always you can meet somebody. Like, unfortunately, right now when I'm traveling, and people they sitting in a plane, and nobody talk to nobody, and you never know. Maybe that person beside you that he's sitting, maybe he's looking to buy a house, or maybe he can become your best friend. Maybe he can become your best customer. Maybe he can become your leader. But like here, unfortunately, everybody is like going through their iPads, like iPad, playing some games, going on telephone, text. There is no text messaging because they don't have internet, but they go through the picture. Nobody talk to nobody.
And I spend a lot of time with Roy. He's a mentor of mine. Besides that, he's a godfather to my kid, mentor, and a very good friend. He spent a lot of time. He always starts the conversation first. So that's the ego you mentioned earlier. He has zero ego. I mean, that's how I feel. He said I have the good ego, but he always starts the conversation first. He always the one who say hi first, smile first. He opens any door, and I think that's a key. He talks to everybody.
That's me. That's me. You just like, you know what? Like always, you can always be nice. Say good morning. Like when you come in elevator, yeah, how are you today? At least like give a smile. Smile is like universal language. Everybody speak that language.
A lot of people, they don't want to talk because they don't have confidence in what they're going to say, or they think they're going to look stupid, or they think whatever. But how do you have confidence to just say hi to anybody and everybody?
And do you think you're born with that, Roy, or you learn it? Or you were just born salesman? And
I would say like 50-50. 50% I was born, 50% I learned. See, this guy is nice. His English is like broken, but like he's nice. He say good morning, thank you, have a nice day. That's the simple, just like smile. At least like when you walk, doesn't matter like his child, if he's adults, just smile. And just like you will see, they're going to feel your positive energy.
Thank you so much. I learned so much through this. I appreciate
now,
it.
Still processing.
Yeah, still processing.
Now what we need to do, just like smile and use and be polite. And that's it. And little by little, we can change this society.
I'm not sure if this is from Napoleon Hill, but smile and the whole world's going to smile with you. Leap and you leap alone, or cry when you cry alone. So it's true. You got to smile and you open doors.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.